So solve the trigonometric equation 2 tan theta plus 5 is equal to 0 for theta being between minus 180 and 180 degrees. Now notice this time we don't actually have that tan theta is equal to something, we've just got that 2 tan theta plus 5 is equal to 0. So we have to reduce it by doing normal algebra, so we take 5 from both sides. So we're going to make tan theta the subject. 2 tan theta is equal to minus 5. And then dividing both sides by 2, we get that tan theta is equal to minus 5 over 2. So you see what I mean? You have to reduce these equations to either like cos theta, sine theta, or tan theta is equal to something. Now you do tan to the minus 1 of minus 5 over 2 on your calculator, and you're going to get minus 68.18, a bit more. We should note at this stage that the calculator only gives values of tan to minus 1 of a between minus 90 and 90. So we're going to use the graphical method. So here I'm going to my applet, which again I will put into into the notes of this video, so you can use it if you want to. So we've got here tan theta is equal to minus 2.5. Okay, and we're going to tan to the minus 1 of 2.5 is minus 68.19. And we've got the theta between minus 90 and 90, and this gives me the different values that I want to find. Now between minus 180 and 180 I'm going to have two values. I'm going to have one at minus 68.19 and another at 111.81. Well, I've got that one, the calculator gave me that value, so in order to find the next one, all I need to do is to add the period of the graph. Now the period of a tan graph is 180 degrees, so it repeats itself after 180, so I need to add that in to get that second value. Okay, so there's my screenshot. Again, the applet I'll put in the notes of the video. So we're going to get the theta is equal to minus 68.19, and the second value I get by adding 180 degrees to that, so minus 68.19 plus 180, and then I get rounding off, so that's the period of the graph, so rounding off I get that theta is equal to minus 68.2 or 111.8. Now that's the graphical method. I prefer this method, which is called the South Asian Tennis Club, or the CAST method if you look in most textbooks. So again, we reduce the equation down to tan theta is equal to something. So taking 5, you get 2 tan theta is equal to minus 5. Dividing by 2, tan theta is equal to minus 5 over 2. Now what you do is you note that that is negative. And because you want tan to the minus 1 of, you take the positive value of that only, 5 over 2, that will give you 68.2 degrees, correct to one decimal place. So you draw your South Asian Tennis Club, and remember this tells me in this second quadrant sine's positive, in the first quadrant all are positive, in the third quadrant tangent's positive, and in the fourth quadrant cosine's positive. I want to see where it is negative. So where is tangent negative? Maybe stop the video and think for yourself which quadrant's tangent would be negative. Right, did you come up with the second quadrant and the fourth quadrant? Tangent is negative in the second and fourth quadrants. So what we do is we go to those quadrants and make our angle 68.2 with which axis? The x-axis. So the angle's always made with the x-axis in this method. So we put there 68.2, angle made with the x-axis, and 68.2 here. Now we need to solve this between minus 180 and 180. Let's do 0 to 180 first. So we're going to go around that way, which is positive. That's anti-clockwise. If we start at 0, we go all the way around to here, and this is the angle that we want. We can find that angle by doing 180 minus this 68.2. That gives me the actual angle that I want. Remember, the angle solution is actually that angle there. So that's going to give me 180 minus 68.2, and the other one because we're going around anti-clockwise, so we'll start at 0, and we're going to go take away 68.2, and again that's going to give me that theta is equal to minus 68.2, or 111.8. Okay, this is going to be my preferred method in my later videos, but we've got the two methods there. What you need to do is practice either the graphical method or the cast method, or South Asian turns cast method, and go with the one which suits you. Okay, I hope you've understood, and I thank you very much for watching this video.